Welcome to the All Relationships Can Heal podcast. My name is Rebecca Thompson Hitt, and I am your guide on our healing journey together. I will be sharing stories of hope, healing, and support during our time together. Today is Mindful Monday, and I'll be sharing a story about personal space. Paying attention to our own experience, our thoughts, our felt experience, and what it feels like in our body is a big part of mindfulness. It's how we connect to ourselves, how we know what we need. Many people are disconnected from their bodies, from their needs, and from the needs of others. Our first step toward mindfulness is to become more aware of ourselves, the feelings in our bodies, the story we make up about the things that happen, and figure out what we need. Mindfulness starts with things like, am I tired? Most parents with young children do not answer no to that question in my experience. Am I hungry? Yeah, probably because you just ate the leftover whatever from your kid's plate. Am I thirsty? Because you probably haven't remembered even where you put your glass of water. Do I need to go to the bathroom by yourself? Do I need to move my body? Do I need a nap? When we first begin this journey of mindfulness, we can start with the basics. Just notice those things over the next week. And when you can, meet that need for yourself. It's a great Mindful Monday step. Healing can't happen without self-awareness. So it's a huge part of all relationships can heal. I've been flying a lot lately, which means that I've had many different experiences in different places, on different planes, and with different people. And it's a really great opportunity for me to be more mindful of myself, what I'm needing, and how it feels as I interact with other people. On one recent flight, the guy next to me, sitting on the end seat, me in the middle seat, my husband to my right, was a larger guy. My husband's this little guy. I'm a pretty little person. And this guy was taking up his seat and a little bit more. So I'd moved over to give him some extra room, which I thought was just nice. I'm pretty small, so I don't really need a lot of room. But I found that when I moved over to give him more space, he took even more space. My natural inclination was to give up my space to make someone else more comfortable. But as he took up more space, I finally began to feel really annoyed. I felt energy building in my arms and a tightening in my throat. I was trying not to hit him or say something I'd regret. He was at least twice my size, so fighting him really wasn't a good idea. So my next impulse was to get smaller and quieter. But as he stayed in my space and actually continued to move more into my space, I knew that that wasn't what I needed. I had a right to my space. I leaned back a little more into my own seat, and he moved back a little more into his own seat. The story of there not being room for me began to shift. In the present moment, I was responding to an old story as if it was happening, and it changed in that moment when I began to take up my own space. That was a boundary. I took up space, my space, without yelling, without threatening, without coercion. I didn't have any power over him physically, but I was able to get my point across without a single word. But if I hadn't been mindful of myself, I would have stayed in my old story of powerlessness. When we become more mindful of ourselves, our bodies, our own feelings and needs, we have the possibility of change and healing in present time. As parents, when we become more mindful of ourselves, we can model for our children to do the same, and then they can learn to make changes too. So most Mondays we'll be exploring what it means to be mindful and how that can help us as parents, teachers, professionals, and just people, humans in the world. Tomorrow, please join me for Time In Tuesday. A time in is a pause for connection. I'm Rebecca Thompson Hitt. This is the All Relationships Can Heal podcast, and I look forward to continuing our journey of healing together tomorrow.